Hey everyone, it's Rob, the real estate guy, coming at you with a real estate market update. Well, today we're going to talk about why it's important to have a real estate agent that knows your neighborhood. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to kind of break down the MLS market versus the Pinery market. You guys might be thinking, what's the difference? There's actually a really big difference. The MLS market is what you get in the news. If you're watching TV, if you're reading newspapers, the MLS market is what you hear there. It may at times be very different from what's actually happening in a neighborhood, for example, the Pinery. Let's get started and compare the two. If I look at those big numbers there in that data, this would be a very favorable market for a buyer. And so because homes are sitting on the market longer, buyers have greater leverage. There's less closed activity. There's not any pending activity happening, so there's not a lot of demand for the MLS market. And lastly, the number of active listings went up so much at 18%, there's more inventory. So when you have a lot of supply and no demand, there's not a whole lot of favoritism towards sellers. Now let's go into the Pinery. Let's look at some of these numbers. So average close price compared to the MLS is actually greater. The number of active listings is up 20%. Pending and closed listings were the same, up at 8.8%. And then a big one is days on market went down to 10. Down 10%. And so this would actually play more favoritism to the sellers. Why? Because there is more pending activity and there's more closed activity. Those two alone tell us there's a great demand for the Pinery. Also, the average close price is higher. And the days on market went down 10%, so homes are selling quicker. So because of all this demand, there is so much more favoritism towards sellers than buyers. So now here's where it gets exciting. Now, what happens if you're somebody that wants to buy into the Pinery, wants to buy a house in the Pinery, but you think the Pinery market is the MLS market? Well, you're going to come into the Pinery market thinking you have the leverage. So you may come in thinking there's more time for listings. You may look at listings and say, oh, it's on the market for 20 days. Well, days on market is high, so we have time. We can wait. And what happens there is you may get bid out and you'll lose out on the house. If you're a buyer coming into the Pinery with an MLS mindset, you might look at average close price only being 3%, and you think, oh, but it's actually 4.5%, but you're thinking it's 3%. You're going to come in and say, oh, well, it's not worth that much. I'm going to come in under asking. And then what's going to happen is you're going to miss out on that house because the demand is so high in the Pinery. You're going to miss out on that home. So if you're a buyer trying to buy in the Pinery with an MLS mindset, there's going to be a lot of frustration for you trying to get a house under contract, get an offer accepted. And you're going to keep getting beat out by other offers because it's a totally different game in the Pinery compared to the MLS. Now let's switch it. What happens if you're a seller in the Pinery and you want to sell? But you're looking at the news and everything and you're seeing the MLS market. Well, what happens if you have that mindset, but you're looking to sell in the Pinery? You're going to think the market is weak. And so when you go to put the house on the market, you're thinking about, oh, days on market's high. I have time. Oh, there's less closed activity. There's less pending activity. So there's just not a lot of demand in the Pinery right now. So how do we price a home? Well, we go on the lower end. So now you're pricing your home lower. But then when you get that house on the market, you're underpricing your home, so you're losing money. There's going to be a ton of activity. So when you thought you had the extra days on market, you're actually underpricing a home in a very high buyer demand market. You're going to be overwhelmed because you're not going to have that extra time you thought. So as a seller, you're going to lose money. It's going to be a very stressful outcome, and it's just not going to be a very pleasant experience. If you take anything away, find an agent that knows the neighborhood you're looking to move into or get out of, and you'll be much happier, you'll make more, and it'll be a much more enjoyable process. If you need anything real estate related, don't hesitate to reach out. This is Rob, your real estate expert in the Pinery. Make it a great day.